Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Craig Conover shows engagement ring, yet he still lies. Craig Conover has finally shown the engagement ring he bought for Paige DeSorbo. However, fans think he is still lying about the situation. Craig says that he had already bought a ring for Paige. However, since he said that no one has believed him, he would not show the ring, but claimed he had sold it. However, he has finally shown what he bought for Paige. There is a lot to unfold and uncover when it comes to this. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Paige DeSorbo and Craig Conover were in a serious relationship for about 3 years. Craig was ready to settle down and potentially start a family. However, Paige was not in the same place as Craig, and this took a major toll on their relationship. Paige ended up calling it quits. However, when she did, Craig claimed that he had already bought her an engagement ring, and he wished she hadn't broken up with him before he could have shown her. While he said this, Paige never believed that he bought a ring. Craig Conover claims that he sold the custom-made engagement ring he got for Paige DeSorbo. However, he has finally shown what it looked like. Regardless, fans think he is still lying about the ring in general. I have to give it to Craig. The man just refuses to be wrong. I wish I lived with that level of delusion. I know how to Google search for images too, Craig. This proves nothing. At most this proves he went and looked at rings. He said he bought it at the end of March, and it took 7 weeks to get delivered. Sue, having the ring in Charleston on 3L events sure doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm so happy Paige decided not to make this man the father of her children. She could never trust a word he says, and he would make a horrible example for their kids. It seems as though fans do not believe that Craig ever bought a ring. Conover is known for his lies and for not always telling the truth. So this had made it hard for fans to believe anything he had to say. The ring he claims he bought was big and gorgeous. However, he claims it was custom-made, and fans know that you cannot normally return those like he claims he did. There is a lot that Craig could be lying about. What do you think? Do you think he is lying about the ring he bought? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. In the glittering world of reality TV, the line between truth and theatrics is often blurred by camera angles, clever editing, and the unrelenting push for ratings. But few figures walk that tightrope quite like Southern Charm's Craig Conover, lawyer-turned-seamster, pillow magnate, and now fiancé. That's right. Conover has shown the world the sparkling engagement ring meant for longtime girlfriend Paige DeSorbo, and fans are teetering between celebration and suspicion. Because even amid the glimmer of diamonds and declarations of love, whispers persist, he still lies. It's a curious contradiction, one that feels perfectly suited to the Bravo verse, where every teardrop may be genuine, but every smile is potentially rehearsed. Craig flashing an engagement ring should be the fairy tale ending fans craved. But instead, it's just the opening act of a new drama. Is this engagement built on solid ground, or are we being sold another stitched-up fantasy? Let's rewind. Craig's journey from unsure Charleston law grad to Bravo heartthrob has been anything but smooth. He first caught the public's attention for his boyish charm and seemingly endless list of aspirations. He wanted to be a lawyer. Then he wanted to start a lifestyle brand. Then came sewing. Each ambition came with skepticism, often justified. His co-stars famously mocked his tendency to avoid hard truths, whether that meant missing bar exams, fudging timelines, or telling little white lies about his progress on, well, anything. Yet through it all, Craig was undeniably likable. A lovable mess who genuinely wanted to be better, even if he couldn't quite get there. Enter Paige DeSorbo, summer house alum and fashion influencer. Their flirtation started cross-show, a Bravo crossover as delightful as it was chaotic. From Hamptons parties to Charleston soirees, their connection felt surprisingly authentic. Paige, sharp and self-aware, brought a grounding force to Craig's whirlwind energy. She called him out when necessary, but also seemed to understand him, truly see him, in a way viewers hadn't before. So when Craig revealed the engagement ring, a glimmering symbol of commitment, many fans exhaled. Finally, a step forward. Finally, stability. But it didn't take long before that signature skepticism crept back in. Because even in moments of sincerity, Craig Conover has a way of leaving just enough ambiguity to spark doubt. "He still lies," muttered a castmate in a recent confessional, half laughing, half exasperated. The phrase has become a kind of tagline, a reminder that growth doesn't erase history. Viewers remember the fibs, the evasions, the creative interpretations of reality. And while an engagement ring is a public declaration of love, it's also an easy prop, especially on reality TV. To be fair, Paige has always seemed in control of her narrative. She's careful, calculating, fashionably aloof. If anyone could see through a facade, it's her, which raises an even more intriguing possibility. What if she knows about the lies and accepts them? What if this engagement, rather than being the beginning of something new, is simply the next scene in a carefully crafted storyline? There's something refreshingly modern about that. Love in 2025 doesn't always arrive in neat packages. Maybe Paige doesn't need perfection. Maybe she needs passion, presence, and someone who knows how to fold a fitted sheet. Of course, there are also the skeptics who wonder if the engagement ring is real. Not the diamond itself, which is reportedly exquisite, but the intent behind it. Craig presented the ring with a kind of giddy nervousness, a blend of boyish pride and Bravo-trained performance. It felt heartfelt, but then again, so did many moments in their relationship that later unraveled in confessions and reunion specials. "He's always been a dreamer," said one insider close to the Southern Charmcast. The problem is, sometimes he dreams out loud and pretends it's already real. And that's the paradox of Craig Conover. He dreams big. He wants love, loyalty, success, and pillows. But his greatest challenge has always been execution. The ring may be real. The love may be real. But the truth? That's murkier. The phrase "he still lies" doesn't necessarily mean Craig is malicious. In fact, many fans interpret it as a sort of poetic flaw, the kind of endearing shortcoming that defines someone more than it damns them. Maybe it's not about bold-faced lies, but the kind we all tell, to ourselves, to our partners, to the cameras, to keep the illusion alive. It's hard to ignore the metaphorical weight of Craig's chosen profession. He sews pillows. He stitches things together. He creates comfort from fabric and thread, crafting beauty from scraps. In many ways, that's what his relationship with Paige seems to be. A work in progress, held together by intention, if not always precision.